thank you very much for coming. Thank you for the privilege of your time. And my name is Arnold, and I will start introducing this today's program. Today's program will last for around 2 hours, so maybe less than that. Depends on how it goes. And so, thank you very much. So probably you're interested in this Master in Physiotherapy and Master in Occupational Therapy program. So here with me, we have a multiple guests here. So we will introduce them one by one. So my name is Arno. I'm the program leader for the MPT program. And also we have Professor Yvonne Han. So she is the program leader of the MOT program. So we have Miss Chen Ching Mei. She is the Senior Social Worker Officer of the Rehabilitation and Medical Social Services branch, Social Worker Department, as well as Ms. Chek Pui K. She is the social worker officer in the same department and the same branch. So today we will start with a basic introduction of physiotherapy program. So we take turns. So in the last year, you will join us before, you know that we start with MOT, and then this year we start with MPT, and then we have the MOT program follow that. And then at the end of this, of course, we have our two guest speaker from social work department to share the existing schemes. And then after this, we will have a Q&A session, so you can ask any questions, regardless you want to ask in English, Cantonese, or Mandarin. We try to entertain your questions. I start with English. If you feel uncomfortable, please let me know, and so they can change it to any language you want, except Italian or French. All right, so maybe without further ado, I will start with the program introductions. So I may need help to load the program up, the PowerPoint. Thank you. So we have Terry here. He's a technical support person. He's awesome. All right. All right. So we talk about next year intake. So that will be starting. Actually, we are going to have the enrollment very soon, and we have early interviews as well this year, because we want to make sure that those who are interested, you can enroll you, and then we can start prepare for the course. All right. So we have discussed that already. So we will skip this part. If you know, like physiotherapy is a really has long history. Some those in the US or in the Canada, they call it physical therapy. And so we started back in 2000, I mean, not 2000, but back in 90-ish, 40-ish, during the Second World War. And then so the problem is associated with polio epidemics in 1990s and early 90s and not 90s, 1900s. And so they established this kind of rehabilitation program, so to help those people with polio to recover, to rehabilitate. And so, of course, back in 60s and 70s, before you were born, back then we have a lot of work injuries, because back then we have a lot of industry factories here. One of the most common injuries is the machinery injury. So those people have chopping their hands because of the machines, and so that's why I have back then we have many of the hand therapy. And later, over time, we have a lot of development. So nowadays, physiotherapy is like you can name it, basically in every departments, like emergency department, those need to do chest physiotherapy, like working in ICU or in the outpatient department. So we have some community-based physiotherapy services. Primary care is the most important thing. I think you probably had heard about that. The government has already allowed physiotherapists to provide some direct access, kind of like, but without any referral for some particular condition, they can provide service right away. And also they have in hospital, they have early discharge plan, and then also prepare patients back home. And also we have a public education, which is very important. What's this? Sorry. And so physiotherapy actually is type of treatment that will lasting since when you were born and up to older adults. So we provide service across lifespan. So we can, most important thing is to prevent injuries if we can, and restore independence, promote maximum level of function, and help the people to become more optimized in an optimized way to do whatever they can. and also we take care about the psychological health of those people as well. I think many people probably notice that sports physiotherapists, they are very active in the sports field. You can easily find them in Olympics or rugby games or something. But our service is more than that, as I've mentioned that before. So regarding the patient care and what you will learn is here we will learn a lot of different physical methods and approaches to provide treatment to the patients. So including some of them, for example, this machine is used for like sports injuries or for recovery after exercising. And we have also manual therapy that can learn how to look at what happens to different joint problem. We have cardiovascular health. We will help people to optimize their health issues. For example, we help people to optimize the lung function for those people with cancer or with smoking problem. Of course, probably many of you will notice that we have gait analysis. We have, because for example, every year we have some runners marathon, and then we have to a lot of services for them as well. Of course, we have some more analysis, and it's not simply just using a simple tools. We have some more complicated tools to help people to do analysis and check the progress over time. Very importantly, as I mentioned before, for kids, even for babies, we have some services for those people, teaching parents as well. So why PolyU? I think PolyU is a well-established university, public funded, and the longest history of PT program in Hong Kong. More importantly, this program is 2 years rather than 4 years time, so you can save your time, especially after you get your first degree. So a bit more specific. So musculoskeletal physiotherapy can be ranging from the head to toes. We have some manual techniques. So of course, many of you have really fallen off maybe those manipulations. But apart from that, we also teach our students how to use technology like ultrasound to do a lot of treatment or assessment. And of course, somehow you can see some neurological physiotherapy as well. We even do some brain stimulation, non-invasive brain stimulation for pain, for stroke patients, and so on. So even for insomnia, is a good way we find that it's very useful for those people. If you cannot sleep, come to us. And also we have some other services of you can imagine. So including robots, but not humanoid robot, but this kind of robot help the patient who have, let's say, have spinal cord injury, they can walk again. So we have other assessment, including checking the balance of older adults or some other people as well. Here, pediatrics, so we have games to play with children and then teach different children have different problems, like people with cerebral palsy or some other SEN issues. Of course, some of them can be work in ICU, some more acute care. So mainly for cardiopulmonary, many of them they will include acute care, for example, post-heart attack. So what kind of rehabilitation you can provide? For example, people with open heart surgery, what can you do? Or some people have lung surgery, what can you do? Something like that. So we have very experienced clinicians, teacher here as well. Of course, for cardio, we also have cardio rehab, so that can help people after recovery, after discharge home, they can go back to hospital to do some rehabilitation as well. Probably heard about a lot about electrophysical therapy. So this is also why physical therapy, you see the names here. That was traditionally very common back in 70s, but nowadays we recognize that many of the equipment has been out there, but some of them are not evidence-based. And then nowadays we find that many of these therapy can be somehow not evidence-based, some of them. But somehow we teach you how to distinguish which one is evidence-based, which one is just is a hope, and you can basically from this kind of literature or different information, you know how to choose the right modality for patient with different conditions. And of course, very important, exercise. And basically nowadays we know that exercise is medicine. So that's why we emphasize a lot in that one as well. No matter you have diabetes, your obesity, you have insomnia, you have cognitive decline, most important thing, exercise. The exercise I mean here is physical exercise. So it's not, don't think that we physiotherapists only treat patients with sports physiotherapy, sports injury. Actually, we have a lot focusing on the um, exercise as a sports rehab. Of course, massage is only one type of physiotherapy, sports physiotherapy. Primary care is now, as I mentioned before, we're getting more and more involved in the community because this is the way to go. Especially nowadays, we talk about aging at home rather than aging in place. What aging at home means that you can, wherever you're home, we help you to age there. So that's why primary care is very important. We have a lot of education. We have common some classes, workshop provide to different levels of patients. Clinical placement. So for this program, we have a lot of clinical placement. You have to fulfill around 1,000 hours of clinical placement to make sure that you're qualified to become a physiotherapist. Not only in Hong Kong, you can also go to Australia right away and register there without any exam. So this is for information in case you want to go to Australia. So pre-admission, we have some briefing just like today. We have this kind of briefing. And also we will provide some other tips for those candidates who are really interested in this program. So why MPT? So I think nowadays, like you can see across the group right now, they are trying to fade out those like BSc program, except those in Asia. They're still using BSc. But hopefully one day Hong Kong will catch up with the rest of the world to have MPT or DPT program instead. So why this one? I think in Hong Kong is growing trend. So like everybody's getting older. By 1 year time, you get 1 year older. So actually, aging is a big issue nowadays. We know that in Hong Kong, around um, maybe 15% of the people already age 65 or older. So why not? You can see the market there. And also, we have even though we have physio physiotherapy working for a long time, but a lot of the service hasn't been expanded. So there's still a need for physiotherapists to provide expanding the scope of physiotherapy program. So haven't been matched yet. So we have to expand. So that's why they did the workforce. And we also need a high caliber physiotherapy labor force. The reason is because, like we try to train up some physiotherapists that are different from those like other school locally, because we emphasize a lot in evidence-based as well as research-based projects. So that's why when you join us, you will have a chance to do research, different types of research to get and equip you to eventually work in a higher ranking, like for example, prepare yourself to become working in the management levels rather than working in the front line. So even though if you want to work in front line, you can, but if you want to work in the management level, we try to help you out to learn how to write proposal, how to get funding, how to do research. This is what we want. So that's different from those schools. And also, I think this is a very important opportunity to become a healthcare professional because once you get the license, you have it, right? And so this is fast track, right? So it's 2 years program, um, better than 4 years. If you want to do a 4 years program, you can try, but it's time like consuming, right? So this is good. Also, this program is historical. It's since 2012. You can see that it's already 14 years old. And this full-time 2 years, you can see that we have 91 credits in total. We have foundations credit and then some other credits as well. 6 semester back to back. So your tuition is really worth it because you pay the same amount of the tuition. You have to study more than the other people. Why not? And also, have more than 1,000 hours of clinical education. See, this is the clinical placement in different setting in hospital or NGOs. Also, entrance requirement. In order to come to this program, first of all, you have to take 2 courses. You don't need to study with us, but you can take some credible courses. We have the list already on the website. Check it out, and then you can, as long as you complete these 2 courses, get the pass, and then we can are eligible to enroll this program. You can do it online. You don't need to do it in person. And of course, you need to have a bachelor degree first. And English requirement, basically we teach in English, but if you know other language, is still an advantage. But if you want to fulfill the English requirement, here is the basic for this university. I don't think it's a problem for you, I guess. Professional recognition, as I mentioned, you automatically graduate. After you graduate, you get the registered physiotherapist license here, but you can also do the same thing in Australia without taking any exam. And if you go to Canada, you can also don't need to study. You can take the exam if you want. So this is curriculum is basically for physiotherapy education. Professional recognition is well protected. We are professional here after you graduate, and you are fully eligible for practice here. Here's the dates that you have to mark it down, including April 17. That means today, and we have the briefing, and of course MOT. We do it the same thing today, and also by this period, you can start the online registration, and then June to September, we will invite some shortlisted applicants to do early selection interviews, and then we can provide the offer right away. And in October, social work department will also provide NGOs list to successful applicants to apply the job there, and they will provide some sponsorship. And also by November, you will know the results. We start the recruitment, and then early next year, January, you will start to join us as our student. And that will start to January 12th, in the middle of January, that will be the starting day of our program. Tuition fee, we frozen the tuition fee, so that's why it is not compared to last year, we had the same price, 700,000 for 2 years. But it's not going to give them all at once, so you can have multiple installments. Every time you divide into 4, so that's why the amount is 175,000 per installment. And also, you initial fee will once you accept it, you have to pay just a deposit, which is around $70,000. But this by the time you pay the rest of the tuition, you will deduct this amount as well. And so to become our applicant, you can any like permanent residents can be here to eligible to join these sponsorship. So this is a sponsorship program, but of course doesn't mean that if you're not a Hong Kong resident, you can still apply for this course, except that you're not entitled to this training sponsorship program. So actually right now, some of our students, they're also self-finance themselves as well, which is give you more opportunities and more flexibility as well. You don't need to be bound to one particular NGOs by the time you finish your study. So that means you can go anywhere. And yeah, so if you get the sponsorship, later our colleagues will talk about that. You will settle the tuition fee by yourself first, but they will reimburse it by the NGO, provided that you pass all the courses in that semester. So easy, already graduate really fast, time flies. So I'm sure if you join us, 2 years time flies by. So regarding the application procedures, you can visit our website. You already posted there, both MPT and MOT there. You can find the website there, and then you can click apply, and then you'll be diverted to this website, and then you click it and log in, create an account. And then, so you can also look at our programming details through these 2 links, but you can take a picture if you want, screenshot it, and otherwise you can visit this place. But when you apply, you have to upload your supporting information, including you pass those 2 courses, human anatomy and human physiology, to make sure that you know the basic. And then upload these documents alongside all other your CV or other documents that you feel fit. And you should upload the supporting document. Apart from this, you can have your own information, look at the instruction clearly. That will be really helpful because I cannot explain everything here. Even if I say it, you'll probably forget it. So visit our website and then take a look. And you can also download our program booklet by simply going to our website, click it there, and then you can select the program that you want to look at. All right, so I stop here and then we pass the mic to our colleagues, Professor Yvonne Han. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so good afternoon. I'm Professor Yvonne Han. I'm the associate professor and also program leader for the MOT program here. So a little bit about the occupational therapy in Hong Kong, like some of the history. So our actually OT service was developed in the 1940s. And then, but like we only train, like provide local training, started in 1978. So nowadays, up to to date, we have about 3,600, over 3,600 registered OT in Hong Kong. So I think a lot of people may ask, what is OT? I got asked that a lot too. So OT actually, what we do is like we aims to help people to complete the functions of everyday life. But I must point out that like occupation, the word occupation doesn't really equate your chosen career. So rather, occupation is basically any activity that you perform as an individual. So in terms of self-care, in terms of productivity, like working at school, being a student, and even leisure, like socializing, recreation, enjoyment. So OT, being OT, we are very supportive because we support people to do everyday activities that matter to them. We are very practical because we help people to problem solve and also learn new skills. And we are essential because we focus on people's independence and also quality of life. So no, so where do you find OT? So for OT, like you find us in hospitals, actually, and also government services like rehabilitation centers, child assessment centers, or like NGOs, like including like support employment service, elderly home, and even private clinics. So OT, much like medical doctors, we have like different specialties. I myself, I am a pediatric OT, so I work with young children a lot. And then like some of our colleagues will choose to work in psychiatry, and some may be in geriatrics, like orthopedics. Only a small portion of OT actually choose like vocational rehab. Um, Okay. So if you're interested in being an OT or pursue a career in occupational therapy, then like Poly U might be the place for you. For one thing, like we are the top like university in the world, the one of the top universities in the world. So according to QS ranking, that feature about 1,500 universities. Poly U actually ranked like 54th, just like what Arnold mentioned before. And then like for our OT program, we're the first in Hong Kong. And also like in addition, like being a really, really good program, we also offer a lot of overseas placement and also non-local learning opportunities. Our program is globally accredited, so which means international recognition, and also like for our graduates, like they are eligible for direct registration with the Hong Kong OT board, which means they can practice right after they graduate. So our program, the Master in Occupational Therapy, is a master entry program, and then like we are like just like the MPT program, we are 2 years full time. That will so for 6 semesters, two of which in the summertime. So we are accredited by the World Federation of Occupational Therapists, the WFOT, and also we are accredited by the Hong Kong Occupational Therapists Board. And the number of intake this year will, for this coming cohort will be 40. So our graduates, like, OT students graduating from Poly U actually do have a very promising career prospects because like, in addition, for some of you who may want to practice in Hong Kong, so like, there's opportunities for clinical practice in local settings and also overseas clinical practice too, for those of you who want to go practice overseas, because basically, because of our international reputation. And also we are accredited by the WFOT, so it's up to international standard. And also we are very good university that ran like among the top universities in the world. So, and for those who are interested in pursuing like, higher postgraduate study. So we offer PhD program, master program, and field program. And then, so, for those of you who are actually interested in research, like you're very much welcome to do that too. For a 2-year full-time program, so basically involve like university teaching, so coursework. So that's basically, well, it's about 73% of total course time. and also clinical education. So for the OT students in Hong Kong, they are required to do 1,000 clinical hours. So that kind of basically spread among 4 different placements, CU 1, 2, 3, 4. So altogether, that's worth like 24 credits. And so that's like about 27% of total coursework. And also need to fulfill university requirement, which is 1 credit in academic integrity and ethics. So total credit value will be 91. For the curriculum, no, for the OT program, basically you can do it in like different stages. So first, like we be teaching some of the basic and clinical science subjects, including like, neuroscience, psychology, introductory OT courses, research methods, statistics, and then we move on to the professional subjects. So such as orthopedics, internal medicine, neurology, developmental disorders, etc. And then also clinical placement, like 24 credits. So we adopt innovative learning teaching strategies. So it's really, we put a lot of emphasis and we stress on the importance of like how you integrate knowledge into the practice. We really put like kind of stress on evidence-based practice, why you're doing what you're doing. So we put a lot of importance on like your problem-solving skills, critical thinking, and then also international teaching collaboration with other universities in the world. And also we support and promote active learning, including like the e-learning these days and AI. So for our program, usually, you have to lecture in the lecture theater or classrooms but we also have our own teaching labs that kind of teach you more about practical skills. So different teaching labs are the behavior observation, the model home. So these are some of the examples. So this is one of our teaching labs, the pediatric OT lab. So, when you work with children, so we have a classroom for that. And then we have teaching lab like on work rehab. And then another one in musculoskeletal, like bones, muscles, and rehabilitation sense of that. And also like model home teaching, like, like smart aging. So in addition to the regular coursework that you do, our program also offer like global learning opportunities, So we have collaborators, like, in many different places in the world. And we work with top universities too in the world, including like, those in Canada, like U of A, UBC, and then like Australia, and also US. And Bakdai, in Beijing, Tsinghua, and then Tongzai, etc. Oh, and also Korea too, and Singapore. So for the entrance requirement into a program, so much like the MPT program, so you have to have a bachelor degree, and also the prerequisite will also include a human physiology, a 3 credits course, and also you have to already study human anatomy. So these 2 are the prerequisites into a program, and also English requirement as well. So as for the tuition fee, so this is the same as the MPT program. So the total tuition fee for the 2 years course will be $700,000. So it's a total, so about $350,000 per year. And then and also, like, if you accept the offer, then you have to pay initial fee of $69,930. But this will be converted to form part of the first installment of the tuition fee. And for those of you who are interested in seeking financial assistance, so there's some opportunities for the training sponsorship, by the SWD, and then we have people from there. Talk about that later. And also we have a Cynthia 10 Memorial Scholarship. So that's the maximum amount will be $200,000 per student, but that's only for those from mainland China. And also the extended non-means test loan scheme as well. Okay, so admission timeline for the MOT cohort for the coming year, for the coming cohort. So May 1st, I think the important date to remember is like from May 1st onward is the online application period. So for the early round deadline will be from May 1st to May 31st. And then we have another round, will be the main round, the early round, and the main round will be on the deadline will be August 17th. Okay. So, and then we'll shortlist the applicants and invite them to attend the interview, which will happen probably in July or September. Okay, so thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Han. I think you probably have a better idea about OT and PT program. So we have already mentioned about the administration procedures, how to find the relevant information. If you're interested, please come go to the website. So the next speaker is Ms. Chen Jing Mei. So she is going to talk about the introduction of this training sponsorship scheme, as this one is mainly for people, Hong Kong residents. So that's why we will contact it in Cantonese. Thank you.
好，大家好，咁咧就我先介紹下自己先啦。咁咧我就係嚟自社會福利署啦，康復及醫務社會服務科，咁就高級社會工作主任陳靜薇，咁都可以叫我做 Karen 嘅咁。咁咧就頭先阿 Professor 講咗啦，因為呢個 program 嘅對象咧就係一啲需要有特別嘅語言嘅需要，就係要講廣東話嘅，咁所以咧我都唔會特別將佢轉做英文嘅講法啦嚇。咁咧就或者開始嘅時候咧，講一講個背景，點解會有呢一個嘅呢一個嘅培訓資助計劃出現呢？其實就係話近年啦，即係其實香港大家都知道人口老化啦，咁就隨住一啲福利服務咧，其實啲配額咧就不斷咁增加啦。咁另外就話我哋一啲社福機構咧都喺每一年裏邊都為住睇住嗰個福利需要咧，就做一啲優化嘅服務。喺呢啲服務嘅重整優化底下嘅時候咧，其實除咗醫院之外咧，過往嘅10年8載啦，其實咧就喺社福界咧都有好大量嘅需求咧，喺職業治療師同埋物理治療師當中嘅。咁但係咧就喺個 recruitment 上面啦，我哋就發覺都有啲困難當中喎。咁我諗大部分嘅同學都係比較有興趣咧，先會優先選擇咧醫療界咁。咁為咗我哋令到即係可以舒緩到咧喺社福界裏邊咧人手嗰個困難啦，即係 recruitment 嘅困難底下咧，咁喺2012年啦，咁社署咧就推行咗一個呢一個嘅培訓資助計劃㗎啦。咁咧就目的其實就真係都幫助，希望喺我哋社福界裏邊嘅人手上面啦，喺 OT 同 PT 嘅人手短缺嘅狀況之下咧，就可以舒緩一下。咁就住咁樣咧，我哋社署咧就向受資助嘅特別就係安老服務啦，或者係康復服務嘅服務單位咧，就係撥款俾佢哋，咁咧就去資助一啲就讀緊 OT 同 PT 嘅學生嘅。咁隨住呢一個program 一路去嘅時候咧，其實咧個近年嘅人手短缺嘅情況咧，亦都已大大咁舒緩咗嘅。咁同埋我諗就稍後都可以講多少少俾大家聽啦，即係隨住一個社會上邊嘅需求嘅轉變咧，其實而家個狀況咧的而且確都係有舒緩嘅。好啦，咁我哋呢個培訓資助計劃嘅program 咧，就包括就係今日兩位講師所講嘅咧，就係職業治療同埋物理治療嘅碩士課程啦。 咁究竟有一邊啲同學係可以適合去申請呢一個嘅計劃嘅咧？咁個條件就係首先就一定要係香港居民啦，咁就可以逗留，同埋可以喺畢業之後咧要連續咧3年咧就受僱於香港嘅工作嘅。咁呢度我就都想強調一下啦。咁咧就香港居民，如果佢係一啲非永久性嘅香港居民，當你哋提出申請嘅時候咧，其實就要會根據睇翻你哋個簽證啦，或者你哋嘅身份證明文件嘅逗留條件係咪足以令到你哋係畢咗業之後都喺香港可以連續3年逗留喺度工作，可以完成到履行個合約先至可以嘅。咁嚟緊就係我哋會 support 第11屆嘅 MOT 同 MPT 嘅學生啦。咁正如我所講啦，我哋咧都係有個語言上邊嘅要求嘅，因為其實喺香港咧好多嘅受眾對象咧、服務對象都係本地人士啦。咁所以我哋都係要求同學咧係需要聽到同埋能夠表達到咧以廣東話去對話去交談嘅。咁咧就可能大家就比較即係都係好關心啦。我哋稍後都會答大家啲問題啦，都好多個 concern 就喺究竟咧我哋究竟有幾多嘅資助嘅學額啊咁樣啦。咁我想喺度強調就係話咧，其實我哋個資助學額咧，其實咧就係好浮動嘅個名額。我哋就同即係Poly 咧去收生嗰個名額咧係完全冇掛鈎嘅。咁個狀況就係話，我哋每一年都係視乎翻究竟社福界裏邊佢究竟有幾多個需求，而因應佢哋個需求咧，我哋就係 offer 到幾多嘅名額俾大家嘅咁。咁就當大家咧就受資助學生咧就簽訂咗合約啦，就需要咧喺 NGO 裏邊咧就工作至少係3年或以上嘅，最少都係要3年。咁即係話咧，大家畢業之後，當你完成註冊開始計咧，其實咧你哋最少咧都要向嗰個 NGO 咧就係工作3年嘅。咁符合資格嘅學生啦，喺扣除咗政府原有嘅資助底下咧，我哋咧就會將你哋嘅學費咧就會係by phase 咁俾翻大家嘅。咁頭先 Professor 都講過啦，其實我哋呢一個嘅資助咧係一個 reimbursement 嘅形式嘅，即係話學生咧係需要自行咧先俾咗錢先嘅。咁然後啦，機構咧就會係分階段咧向學生咧就俾翻咧你哋已經俾出咗個學費嘅。咁其實大致上就係話喺2年裏邊咧就分4期咧就歸還翻俾學生你哋所付嘅學費嘅。咁第一期咧就應該係會你哋學業完成咗你哋個半年之後，其實如果簡單講就即係好似4個 semester，你哋分開咗每一個 semester 完咗啦，咁你哋就需要將你哋咧就已經俾咗學費嘅證明啦，同埋咧提供翻咧完成學費嘅證明，咁同埋需要取得呢一個合資格嘅成績啦嚇。咁機構咧得到晒你所有呢啲嘅資料咧，先至可以向學生咧發放翻你哋已經咧就俾咗嘅撥款嘅嚇咁啦。咁另外就係咁咧就嗰啲申請啦，講翻個申請嘅程序啦。其實申請嘅程序咧就唔係交俾學院，亦都唔係交俾我哋社署嘅。到時咧個申請咧係會直接咧就交翻俾 NGO 嘅。頭先阿 Professor 都喺個表度寫咗啦。大約10月度咧就會通知大家咧就有邊啲嘅 NGO 咧係會有申請名額啦。咁大家就因應你哋自己咧就想申請邊一間咧，你哋就自行向佢哋申請嘅。咁到時就有一連串嘅安排啊、面試啊各樣嘢啦。咁當個NGO 見完你哋可能覺得對呢位學生佢哋覺得都同意啦，都想係 recruit 呢位學生嘅時候咧，其實咧就你兩家咧就喺你情我願底下咧就自行咧就去簽一個簽訂個協議嘅。咁裏邊個 undertaking 嘅協議咧，其實咧都係各個我相信有機會係每一間機構咧都有少少唔同嘅喺啲協議裏邊。咁所以請大家去簽訂相關嘅協議嘅時候咧，你哋自己就要同相關嘅機構自己去傾清楚佢。 咁如果學生一旦簽咗個協議咧，你就需要係履行咧喺嗰個 contract 底下所需要承擔一個合約嘅責任嘅。如果學生喺未能遵守翻協議嘅條款裏邊咧，其實咧就有需要按規定咧就歸還翻你啲學費咧俾 NGO， 就透過 NGO 咧就交翻俾社會福利署嘅。咁其中咧有一啲特別嘅條件啦，就話究竟有啲咩情況底下代表我會 breach 咗佢咧？包括就話啦，大家未能夠如期咧完成你個課程啦，可能即係呢個課程係2年課程，咁可能讀咗，因為無論係私人理由又好，或者係啲學習嘅狀況都好，咁係多過2年，或者甚至乎超越咗原有嘅時間咧，其實呢個都係唔得嘅。咁另外就話咧，課程需求咧都係要達到某個學業嘅成績嘅目標啦。咁如果唔達標咧，亦都係唔可行嘅。咁另外就話一定咧就係要完成學業之後咧，就要註冊成為一個香港裏邊嘅 OT 或者 PT 啦。咁最後就另外一樣嘢就話，如果你哋未能當初講咗要履行服務嘅年期條款啦，講緊嘅最少係3年咧，大家咧都係要咧向你哋嘅 NGO 咧歸還翻當時俾咗你哋一啲嘅支持嘅學費嘅。咁可能就睇一睇啦嚇，咁究竟有啲究竟嗰3年裏邊係咪我完全3年履行唔到嘅話咧，我就都要俾翻晒咧？咁又唔係嘅。咁其實咧就有個時限喺度嘅。如果大家只係向嗰個為嗰個 NGO 服務咗18個月或以下嘅咧，其實咧就真係100%咧係要俾翻晒我哋嘅。咁如果服務咗18個月至到36個月之間嘅話咧，咁咧都要歸還翻75% 嘅學費俾翻社會福利署嘅。好啦，去到呢度咧就頭先 professor 哋都講過啦，其實咧就畢業之後學生去服務嘅好多唔同類別啦，咁有醫院㗎啦，咁但係其實我哋呢個 program 最主要就係協助翻一啲社福界嘅NGOs 啦。咁其實咧大家可能就需要啲時間去認識一下啦。其實社福界裏邊咧即係服務嘅類別咧都好多啦。頭先講過，我哋主要針對嘅就係康復㗎啦，或者係安老。就算喺康復裏邊咧，其實都有好多唔同嘅類型嘅。咁就算喺社會上面嘅服務咧，其實又有分一啲日間啦，又或者係一啲院舍都有唔同嘅。咁啊簡單同大家咧高呼少少嘅啫。咁咧就譬如嗱，第一個就係一個叫長者日間護理中心啦，另外就係一啲綜合家居照顧服務啦。綜合家居照顧服務就係講緊可能喺日間裏邊呢一啲長者仍然係希望留翻喺院舍裏邊啦，留翻喺社區裏邊，但係都要透過我哋一啲社區服務去支援佢哋嘅。咁改善家居及社區照顧服務啦，呢啲等等咧 mainly 咧都係一啲長者服務嚟嘅。咁再落去嘅咧就係精神健康綜合社區中心啦，就係提供一啲支援俾精神康復者啦，又或者咧而家其實現今咧多咗一啲情緒嘅支援嘅。咁另外就係殘疾人士地區支援中心啦。咁頭先講嗰啲就係一啲社區嘅服務啦，咁呢啲就係一啲院舍嘅服務啦。咁包括就係長者日間護理中心啦。咁另外一啲叫做護理院。sorry， 第一個係護理安老院啦，咁另外就係護養院啦，或者一啲合約嘅院舍啦，咁另外就係嚴重弱智人士宿舍啦，另外就仲有一啲係嚴重殘疾人士護理院嘅，呢啲都係一啲院舍嘅服務嚟嘅。咁我諗提供服務俾院舍嘅院友同一啲社區嘅服務咧，又亦都係有好唔同啦。可能院舍嘅院友咧，就你哋嘅服務對象就會比較穩定啲啦。咁社區嘅服務嘅對象就可能係會都會浮動會變動啊。咁喺提供服務方面又會有啲唔同啊。咁再落去咧就講緊咧係一啲小朋友嘅服務咯。其實近年都多咗好多小朋友咧，有好多啲特殊嘅需要啦。咁所以咧我哋都多咗好多資源咧，其實擺放喺咧提供一啲早期訓練俾佢哋嘅。咁包括例如有話呢個早期教育及訓練中心啦，特殊訓練中心啦。咁另外就有一啲叫做 到校嘅學校學前康復服務嘅。咁另外有一啲 day training 咧，就係關於展能中心延展照顧計劃啊咁。咁聽落去咧就都好多啦嚇，啲即係名字就好陌生啦咁。咁因為要介紹每一個服務咧，其實要用嘅時間就都相當長嘅。咁我都唔係喺度去介紹。咁就過往咧都會有好多 Q&A 就問啦，究竟咧我作為一個學生，我點可以提升到即係有大啲嘅機會咧，係俾一啲 angel recruit 到啊咁。咁我諗咧就一啲少少嘅 tips 俾大家啦。咁咧其實你去面見前咧，我都鼓勵咧同學咧就多啲咧上去了解翻即係唔同嘅服務類別裏邊咧，佢哋嘅對象究竟係啲咩人啦，佢哋咩特色啦嚇。咁以至甚至乎可能你去見嗰個機構嘅時候咧，最好都係去認識翻嗰個機構佢本身嘅特色同埋個服務對象係點樣。咁呢啲資料咧，除咗係去翻每一個機構個別之外咧，其實大圍嘅呢啲資料喺我哋社會福利署個網站裏邊都有晒嘅。我都好鼓勵同學咧，就做多少少準備啦，去認識多呢一啲咁嘅即係服務嘅內容啦。咁都俾人即係去面試嘅時候咧，都會俾人覺得咧，即係你有誠意啊，你真係有誠意去知道究竟嗰啲係咩嚟嘅。咁因為譬如我自己都有interview 過一啲嘅譬如 staff 啊咁啦，我哋都發現啊，有啲 staff 咧，可能咧有啲同學即係畢咗業之後冇準備過去見一份工嘅時候，問佢啲嘢都答唔出咁樣。咁呢個咧就真係會大大扣分㗎嚇。咁所以呢啲咧 tips 就即係都俾咗你哋啦。咁就希望大家咧就好好咧，就真係要去學要去認識一下啦。咁同埋即係我哋咧都搜翻我哋真係冇一啲 profile 咧，究竟有啲咩同學係會入咗即係入到啊？邊啲 profile 入唔到啊？其實就冇呢啲咁嘅資料嘅。我諗咧喺嗰個面見嘅過程，其實都係你同即係個面試官大家之間嘅個溝通同互動啦。咁就只係提翻就話，當你哋 commit 咗嘅時候咧，咁喺嗰個大家嗰個協議去 sign 咗個contract 嘅時候咧，你就已經承諾咗噶啦。咁所有嘅嘢咧，你就真係要去 fulfill 翻佢啦。咁咧就我介紹嘅嘢就係差唔多咁多啦。咁我就知道咧，都有啲同學提前咧都已經俾咗啲 Q&A 我哋嘅。咁可能就稍後我哋一再解答啦。唔該晒大家。